I am ready for the first question, over. That's a good question. We exercise every day, both aerobically, either running or on a bicycle, stationary bicycle, or and also weightlifting for muscle strength. Yes, it is possible. In fact, we have several plant experiments growing right now. They grow very well as long as you keep them watered and keep them in light.
Poi? Allora sincronizzata, tutto ok? Sì, tutto ok.
Well, we know how much the average body needs every day for food, and we calculate that quantity of food and then calculate it for the weeks and months in between supply ships, so we have plenty of food on board, plus we have a reserve in case one of the supply ships gets postponed.
Velocemente, quindi 7 km al secondo ci mette poco ad arrivare.
We do not drink carbonated drinks on board because of the gases in the drinks. It's obviously not something very practical here. I think the question had to do with water being recycled on board. We do recycle the water on board. We also take the humidity out of the air and recycle it, and the water tastes very good when it's after it's recycled.
Inizierà a illuminarsi, fanno vedere sorgere il sole. Avete visto che...
Yes, of course. When you exercise, your muscles get tired just like they do on Earth, and so we exercise once a day and then take the rest of the day to rest up the muscles, and sometimes we change our exercises if our muscles are extra sore from our previous exercise. We have a couple of means of communication via radio channels, and those radio signals go through a satellite far above the Earth, far above us, to the mission planet. The main thing you notice is your vestibular system, because it relies on gravity to tell which way is up and which way is down. So that's the main thing. And sometimes people can get nauseous or have headaches or backaches because the spine is no longer compressed. Those are the major reactions. Oh, it's very difficult to leave the family and beloved behind when we go into space, because we know when we're coming here, we're coming for a long time. We know that they worry about us because of the risks of space flight, but we're in continuous contact with them. I talk to my wife, for example, every day on a telephone we have on board. I think when I was a child, I was looked in the sky often and was in awe and wonder of the vastness of space. And that, of course, developed my passion for astronomy. I also got introduced early to a telescope and was able to see the stars up close through that telescope. We have many, many different kinds of experiments. A lot of them have to do with material science. Some of them have to do with control systems. Quite a few of them have to do with the response that the human body goes through in the space environment. And of course, we need to know that for future space exploration. We have all the same kinds of food that you have on Earth. We have European food, American food, Japanese food, Russian food. Some of it is dehydrated, some of it is ready to eat, some of it is in cans, some of it we have to heat up, and others we eat at temperature. Overall, it's very good. We plan 3 meals a day, just like on Earth, during a 24-hour period, and of course we have snacks up here in between meals, just like you do on Earth. 8-hour schedule, about an 8-hour sleep period, and then we wake up, get cleaned up, look at the plan for the day, and then work about 12 hours or a little more with meal breaks in there. We have exercises we talked about. We also have experiments. Sometimes we have maintenance on the space station. Some big days we have a docking of an arriving vehicle, either Space Shuttle or Soyuz or Progress, and occasionally we have a spacewalk.
Magari si sentirà non in maniera...
Well, I had lots of ideas before I came from talking to previous astronauts and their experiences. Of course, you never really know exactly what it is till you get here, and you find out it's a whole lot more than you than you could imagine in terms of the experience. So it's been a great experience that I've had the opportunity to come to space. It gets to be long when you're up here, but boring I would never say. Always have the great view of the Earth out the window. You always have so boring is not part of the vocabulary. Some people actually increase weight. Most people decrease a little bit. I think in my experience I've decreased a little bit, but that's usually okay. That's a good question, and one of the experiments that we're working on. My experience is that we're not prone to infectious diseases on board, or even the common cold, because we don't have exposure to it because of being isolated here on the ISS.